Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my WWE NXT review for November 28th, 2018, and I'm just going to get right into this video. Um, this episode of NXT was actually not filmed in Full Sail University. They actually changed the venues this time, because I think in real life, what was going on around this time is, since NXT TakeOver War Games 2 was in Los Angeles, California, they did a show, like a house show in California, because if you watch the NXT post shows every week, they were hyping up this show, and I'm actually pretty excited that I got to watch the show, because it ended up being a pretty fun show to watch. So, yeah, I thought that was really cool. Um, so I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. So for commentary for this show, we had Vic Joseph and Nigel McGuinness. Like I said, because they probably needed two people to get in there and do the commentary, and since this was technically a house show, they didn't actually have a commentary team, so they went with them. And we had the first match on the show. It was Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan versus the Mighty. Now, I know in real life, shortly after this, Nick Miller was released from WWE because he just recently had a kid and he wants to spend more time at home with his family, which makes sense because when I heard that he did get released, I was very questionable why he was released and not Shane Thorne. Well, that explains it. But I don't know, though, if they've already taped the next few episodes of NXT prior to him being released, so we'll obviously find that out as I watch the next few NXT episodes. But I thought this was a really good opening tag team match to open up the show. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I thought it was my favorite match on the show. I did like the main event, but I thought this match was a little bit better. I did like the spot where Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan both put submissions on the Mighty at the same time, with Oney Lorcan put it, I think, Shane Thorne into half Boston Crab, and Danny Burch getting like a armbar in onto Nick Miller. I thought that was really nice, a really nice sequence. Then the Mighty get the heat on Oney Lorcan for a while, and they keep him from getting to his corner by doing some nice, solid tag team moves. And eventually, Danny Burch gets the hot tag, and he goes off on, I believe, Nick Miller. I don't really remember who. And pretty much then the match just spills into chaos. Oney Lorcan hit some really nice European uppercuts, and he hit a really cool dive on the outside. He hit a really cool half and half German suplex onto Nick Miller. The Mighty tossed Oney Lorcan into Danny Burch, which was really cool. They hit a double drop kick onto Danny Burch, and eventually Lorcan and Burch go for the win, but Nick Miller breaks it up, and they go to hit the Mighty go to hit the finish on Oney Lorcan, but Danny Burch tackles Shane Thorne outside the ring, and this causes Oney Lorcan to catch Nick Miller with a roll up as a surprise, and Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan win the match. I actually enjoyed what they did with the finish in this match. I thought it was very innovative and different, and I thought it was booked very well. And then afterwards, the Mighty attack Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch from behind, and they throw Oney Lorcan into the steel post shoulder first and beat the crap out of Danny Burch. So I like the angle they did afterwards, possibly setting up a feud between these two teams. That's if the Mighty is still going to be around throughout the next few episodes of NXT. But we'll find out. And then Io Shirai, Dakota Kai, and Kairi Sane get interviewed, and Kairi Sane is disappointed that she didn't win the NXT Women's Championship at NXT TakeOver War Games 2, but says that she wants another shot at Shayna Baszler's championship, and Io Shirai and Dakota Kai said that they went out there to make the save because they're all friends and they all stick together, and they want a six-woman tag team match with them versus Shayna Baszler, Jessamine Duke, and the other member of the Four Horsewomen whose name I always forget. I thought it was a fine promo. I really hope, though, that they just do the six-woman tag because I really want to see something new. instead of seeing Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler go at it again. I really like them, but you got to move on and do something else, so hopefully that happens. Then we had EC3's returned back to NXT, and he wrestled Marcel Barthol, who I expect to probably be a part of the NXT UK division. I probably saw him wrestle a match at NXT UK. But it was a solid match. It was kind of an enhancement match, but Barthol did get some offense in. He hit a really cool, innovative Celtic Cross on an EC3, which was cool, but then eventually EC3 wins when he hits the 1%er on him for the win. After which he cuts a promo and talks about how he was taken out, but the people that took him out didn't get the job done. And he said that this isn't about Undisputed Era because he know that they had to deal with War Games at NXT TakeOver War Games 2. This has to do with Bobby Fish because he tried to take the one thing that he loved away from him, and he wants to take everything away from Bobby Fish. And he pretty much challenges him, but it was a very good promo, and yeah, I thought it was a nice way to set that up. So yeah, I thought that I thought that was really good. I really like EC3. So, and then Dijakovic has a vignette. I saw him wrestle before on NXT, and he looked very impressive. And it was just pretty much him looking like a monster, but also like he's a very tough fighter. I thought that, and I thought it was a nice way to introduce him. Then Candice LeRae gets interviewed back at Full Sail University, and they kind of want to know what's going on with her and her husband and stuff like that, but she doesn't answer. I like this because it's good character development for Candice LeRae. And then we had Vanessa Bourne versus Mia Yim, and this actually was a pretty decent match, which is pretty surprising because I think Vanessa Bourne is a crap wrestler, so I was pretty surprised to see her have a very nice performance. She hit a really nice double knees into like a head scissors in the corner onto Mia Yim, which was really cool. But then eventually Mia Yim wins the match with Eat Defeat, which I hate the name of that finisher, but that's how she wins the match. And that was that. It was actually in Mia Yim's hometown, and, obviously, typically, I guess though since it's NXT, that rule doesn't apply, but typically, the wrestlers that wrestle in the hometown typically don't end up winning, but it was nice that Mia Yim got a nice victory. But it was a decent match. Then, Tommaso Ciampa cuts a promo backstage, and he talks about how pretty much everything that he said that he's going to do this year, he's accomplished. And he's going to make his return to NXT on the next episode, and he expects everybody to follow his lead. It was a very good promo. Give it a watch. Then we had the main event. It was Keith Lee versus Lars Sullivan. I thought this was a really fun big man main event. They both try to show that they're stronger than the other, and they both get the advantage early. They do the thing where they both knock each other down, and they kick out at 1 counts. Keith Lee goes for a diving crossbody, but Lars Sullivan catches him to a big boot, and he dominates the matchup for a while, using his power to outpower Keith Lee. But Keith Lee makes a comeback, and he ends up hitting the springboard crossbody, and he hits like a really cool diving tilt-a-whirl crossbody on the outside, which was awesome. He hits the pounce on Lars Sullivan, but then eventually Lars Sullivan wins when Keith Lee misses a moonsault, and Lars Sullivan hits the freak accident for the win, which I actually was surprised about because I figured Lars Sullivan would put over Keith Lee since he's being called up to the main roster fairly soon, and typically if you leave like a territory or like a wrestling promotion, you typically put somebody over on your way out, so I was kind of surprised Keith Lee didn't get the win. But I'm just going to guess that they didn't know at the time that Lars Sullivan was going to be called up to the main roster, and they put him over because they thought he was going to be in NXT a lot longer. That's the only reason I can come up with why he won this match. Unless he's still going to work a few more episodes of NXT, because maybe they did the tapings before they knew Lars Sullivan was being called up to the main roster. But I still thought it was a really fun big man match. Definitely give it a watch. And then afterwards we had the post show of NXT, which was hosted by Sarah Schreiber, and the interviews were done by Jeremy Borash, which is always nice to see him. Well, I don't hear him, I guess. They had interviews from Lars Sullivan about how he feels after this victory, and Lars Sullivan says that he's going to go do whatever he wants now. Mia Yim was happy to be performing in front of her hometown and says that Vanessa Bourne took it to the limit, and the Mighty said that they're sick and tired of having all the opportunities taken from them, so they're going to go out and take their own opportunities. And then EC3 kind of cuts the same promo that he did on Bobby Fish, saying that he wants to send Bobby Fish back to the EO and how he injured him for injuring him. And that was pretty much the post show. Fun post show. I actually like that they do the post show now because it's only like about not even 5 minutes, and it's something entertaining to watch. It looks cool. I like the production of it and stuff, and it's a way that Jeremy Boaz kind of contributes something to WWE, so I like it. But that was pretty much this episode of NXT. I actually thought this was a really good episode. I really enjoyed the opening match. I really enjoyed, EC3 and starting a few with Bobby Fish or Undisputed Era. Tommaso Ciampa's promo I enjoyed. I thought the women's match was decent. And I thought Keith Lee versus Lars Sullivan was really good. So if I had to rate this match, I mean not this match, but this show, I'm gonna give it I thought it ended up being a really good show. I'm gonna give it a B. I originally was gonna give it a B minus, but that main event really won me over, so I'm giving it just a really nice solid B. But that's pretty much the end of this review. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people will watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content and click on the bell so that way every time I upload a video, you guys get the notifications for it. And make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM Brothers and on the Talking Native YouTube channels because I uploaded some videos and I'm going to upload some videos on there sometime this week. That's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.